Welcome to Destination Station. As always, I'm Destin. I've been promising my subscribers that I would do a update steelbook collection, so here it is. Y'all been asking for it, so I finally got it done. So some of y'all could argue that some of these are metal packs, or you know, like the Friday the 13th, or some of these are just kind of like metal packs. They're not really considered steelbooks, but I went ahead and threw them in the collection. They're all metal, so whatever. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna get these ones off the top. You know, I got this Screen. I don't know if this is Screen Factory or what, but my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, but she bought me this, and I did not know how rare it was. So yeah, I have an unboxing of all this stuff on my channel if you want to go back and look at it. But yeah, I got the Friday the 13th, the full collection. It's pretty awesome. I haven't opened any of the stuff inside. See, I still have the digibook thing and the band, and I think there's some other stuff. I'm not going to go through all these steelbooks because that would be a very long video. Got the patch and all that stuff. Y'all know what this stuff is. If you want to look at a more in-depth view of each and every steelbook, go back to my channel and just check out the video. That's all I can say. So I'm gonna keep on moving along. I got my beer, good IPA. So yeah, next one is Mission Impossible: The Ultimate Collection. I believe this is just the Blu-ray. I didn't own any of the Mission Impossible films, and I believe Rogue Nation or something like that was coming out, or something. But I was like, hey, perfect opportunity to go ahead and get all of them. The Walking Dead, the complete 6th season. I went ahead and picked this up. It was kind of like a blind buy because I didn't see this season. I think I jumped off at like maybe the beginning of season 5. So I went ahead and picked this up. I still have not watched it. I need to catch up on The Walking Dead. It just seemed like it was starting to get some cartoony type characters in it, and all my favorite characters were basically killed off, and besides Rick. So I was just kind of like, you know, I kind of lost interest. It used to be like my favorite show. I'm probably going to collect all the seasons so I can, you know, catch up one day or something, or a couple days it's going to take. Next, go ahead. I just did an unboxing of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Very pleased with this artwork. Can't talk today. Artwork. Even though you can say what you want about the film, really enjoyed this. There are some really Disney-esque type scenes that I would have cut out. Some of the choices they made was kind of questionable, but overall, I did enjoy it. I can't lie. I did enjoy it. And I'm not even a big Star Wars fan, but I collect it all. That's what we collectors do. Rogue One, I collected this. I'm not crazy about this steelbook. I believe this is just the Blu-ray version. Oh, digital code fell out. I don't know. The last 30 minutes, the battle really made up for this movie. Really enjoyed it. It was kind of slow. It's kind of a slow burn, but the last 30 minutes made up for it. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Probably everybody has this in their collection. When this came out, there were so many copies. No reason to rush out and buy it. I think it had more copies than the other Star Wars steelbooks. So Doctor Strange, kind of simple. There's no Doctor Strange on it, so yeah, it was okay. Ant-Man, I really enjoyed this film. Picked up the steelbook. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. I'm a big fan of Paul Rudd. Anything that he's in, he's just, I don't know, he just tends to put a smile on everybody's face. So just all around, seemed like a cool guy to drink a beer with one day. So here's to you, Paul Rudd. That was lame as hell. Anyways, next up, Deadpool. I believe that they're coming out with a new steelbook of Deadpool. Every time I turn around, they got a new slip for it, or a new some type of art for the cover or something like that. They're just milking this because they know that us collectors are going to pick up every version of this because this was such a major hit, and I cannot wait for Deadpool 2 with Josh Brolin playing Cable. Josh Brolin's one of my favorite actors. If you haven't seen Only the Brave, I suggest you check that out immediately. It did not get the recognition that it deserves. It should have been nominated at the Oscars at least. Check out Only the Brave. Amazing movie, and I can't wait for Deadpool 2. And if the new Steelbook looks pretty cool, I'll probably pick that up as well, especially if it's in 4K, because I believe that's only in Blu-ray. Captain America Civil War. This movie just blew me away. It was amazing on every level. It was everything I wanted and more. It was basically an Avengers film. Everybody's seen this film, basically. So I'm pretty sure they're going to start spitting out 4Ks of these versions. I'll probably pick them up. But the Russo brothers, they do amazing work on these films, and I cannot wait for Avengers Infinity War. Talking about that, put a comment down below. Which Avengers do you think that's going to die? Or Avengers, how many Avengers do you think that's going to die? Who do you think that's going to die? Me, personally, I think Loki's going to die. I think Iron Man's going to die. And either Captain America is going to die in this one or the next one. That's my choice, and I'm sticking to it. I really believe that Loki and Iron Man's going to bite the dust. I think Iron Man's going to be trying to save Spider-Man, and I think that's where he's going to lose his life or whatever. But Captain America: The Winter Soldier, another great Marvel film. Really enjoyed this movie. When it comes out on 4K, I will definitely be picking it up. Right there next to Civil War. All right, next up is Thor: Ragnarok. Thor: Ragnarok is probably one of my favorite Marvel films in recent memory. I just really enjoyed this movie. The what do you call it? The humor in it. Taiki Waititi or Waikiki or something like that. I'm probably butchering his name, but he was the creator on, and he starred in What We Do in the Shadows, and you can see that humor taken from there and brought over to this film, and that's exactly what the Thor franchise needed, was some good humor. Kind of had a Guardians of the Galaxy type vibe to it, but honestly, I've watched this movie like 3 or 4 times since this came out, so it's very rewatchable and easy to just sit down and just throw some popcorn in your face and have a good time with it. That's basically what that movie is. It's Spider-Man Homecoming. It's a matte finish. Honestly, I know everybody loved this movie pretty much. I wasn't. It was okay. I wasn't the biggest fan. I love Michael Keaton. I think the guy who played Spider-Man, I think he did a phenomenal job. It wasn't as epic as the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans. Those were always those are the ones I grew up with, and those are probably, it just seemed like it couldn't grasp the magic. Plus, the way that Sam Raimi directs his films is just awesome. The way he does action and horror and all that kind of stuff. But I just thought that this was kind of, it was okay. Wasn't bad. Wasn't great. I guess we'll go ahead and go into DC. I went ahead and got the Justice League Steelbook. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of this film, I thought it was kind of like scattered a little bit. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. It just seemed very unfocused, and it's just hard for me to get into. I don't know why. I don't know why this one is very hard for me to get into. But that's Justice League. Next is Batman v Superman. This is a very divided film, and I have to be on the side of the people that like it, because I don't know. I thought Ben Affleck did a terrific job as Batman. Henry Cavill is amazing as Superman. The fight scene could have been a little bit more epic, could have been a little bit more like longer, and more brutal. I would like to see it get more brutal, but overall, I just enjoyed this movie. I don't understand the hate, and the extended version is amazing. So if you haven't seen it since the theaters, I highly recommend you give it another shot. It's Wonder Woman. This was a phenomenal movie. This was really good. Now, I have to say, when I first watched it, I highly enjoyed it. But I have to say that the more I watch it, it's kind of on the cheesy side. They're all superhero movies. So, I mean, they're going to have some cheesiness to it. Especially if you're not huge into the lore and the storylines and everything like that. I knew nothing about Wonder Woman until I watched this. But this was pretty decent. I could watch this again. Suicide Squad. A lot of people hate this movie. I would like to see like an uncut version of this movie. I didn't think it was as bad as everyone made it out to be. I wasn't crazy for the Jared Leto Joker as much as some people were. I think I'm just still on Heath Ledger and Jack Nicholson. Those guys are amazing. Nothing against Jared Leto. I just didn't like the hip hop gangster type role it went towards with him. I don't know. It was kind of goofy, but overall this movie was very scattered, but there was enjoyment moments. I'd say the first half is the most enjoyable. After that, it's kind of, I don't know, it kind of loses its focus. This is Batman: The Killing Joke. Really enjoyed that back artwork. I would like to have a poster of that on my wall. That would be amazing. But this was okay. I don't know much about the DC animated movies. I'm just now recently getting into them. But this was somewhat okay. I play the Batman games, the Arkham Knight and Arkham Asylum and City and all that stuff. But, I don't know. It takes a lot for me to get into cartoons and TV series. I don't know why. Resident Evil, the final chapter movie is complete garbage, but I had to add it to my collection. I got a box set over here, and I did not go see this at the theater, so I looked at it as an opportunity to buy it when it comes out on Blu-ray and 4K. So I went ahead and bought it, but this movie was just, it kind of starts out okay, but then after that I didn't like how it tied up everything. I didn't really feel like this was a conclusion, really. I don't know. Just something about these movies I don't know. Like, I'm borderline almost walking out of them, and I always know that they're garbage, but I always go see them. Why? I don't know why. There's something wrong with me. But Resident Evil Vendetta. This is like the third or fourth CGI animated film. I watched this. It wasn't bad. It was kind of entertaining. This is the 4K version. I went ahead and picked this up. I saw stuff like, I saw all these like videos of like John Wick with zombies and stuff like that, and there is a scene like that. But it's pretty good. The CGI is good. It's probably better than the movies actually. So The Gambler, Mark Wahlberg. I have yet to see this. This was a blind buy. I picked it up at like at Game Exchange, I believe, and I've always wanted to watch this. I just never have. I'll probably put this to the side so I'll actually check it out. Let me know in the comment section below if it's any good. The Fate of the Furious. Really enjoyed this film. I liked Fast and the Furious 7. What is it? I can't remember the name of them. They keep changing the names of them, but I watch all of them. They're not great movies, but they're fun. They're fun action movies, and they accomplish what they're set out to do. They just throw some popcorn in your face and have a good time. And yeah, that was a good one. I'm looking forward to the spinoff with The Rock and Jason Statham. Fast and the Furious 6. This one was okay. I think I need to rewatch this. I haven't seen it since it came out. I remember this one being kind of like, I remember Fast 5 came out, and I was like, oh, that was amazing. I have to see Fast 6. And then I was kind of like let down with Fast 6. I thought it was kind of just like, it's kind of like I don't know. It just wasn't as epic. And then Fast and Furious 7 came out. It was amazing. And then Fate of the Furious, it was okay. But I don't know where they could go with the franchise. But I have a very soft spot for these movies, and I enjoy them. My wife hates them, but I enjoy them. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I guess the reimagining, the reboot or whatever. I actually enjoyed this. I did not think it was that bad. It's not the greatest, but it was fun. It was fun. I can't say that I hated it. I watched it a couple times. Also, I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. I enjoyed that one too. Now, when this one first started off, I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I can sit through this. This is kind of hard, but it gets better on through it. So yeah, if you haven't checked out these films, they're okay. I don't think they're going to make a third one, but yeah, check them out. The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. Garbage. I did not enjoy this movie at all. I thought this was a waste of time. I don't care if it's just a movie where there's just action and it's just, I don't know. I felt that this one was a cash grab. And what was it? The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, however you pronounce it. if they would have just extended that ending to the beginning of this film, where they spoiler alert, where they take down the dragon and Smaug or whatever, that would have been the perfect conclusion. They should have just extended the second one, and everything after the opening scene of this film is complete garbage. But what can I do? I own it now. Blade Runner 2049. I have only seen half of this. I cannot get into the original. I have tried. I have the 4K version. I've sat down 2 or 3 times trying to watch it. I understand it's a masterpiece. I don't know if it's just not for me or what it is. I started watching this one. I was starting to enjoy it, but it was a night that I was just getting off work. I was really tired. I need to give this another shot. I'm going to put this to the side as well because I do need to finish this. And Harrison Ford and Ryan Gosling, they're both awesome. So I hear nothing but great things about this. So maybe I'll enjoy this one better than I did than the original. Independence Day Resurgence. I wanted to walk out of this film. I had high hopes for this movie. I almost in the back of my mind, I knew this wasn't going to be a good film, but I was very optimistic, and it's got to be good. Jeff Goldblum's coming back. No matter if Will Smith's not coming back, I had high hopes. I was like, please make this good, please. And then the budget was like $250 million to make this movie, so I was like just hoping, and it was just a sloppy mess. This was the first 4K Steelbook that I ever owned. This is The Huntsman, Winter's War. There's a Snow White and the Huntsman film, but this one's The Huntsman, Winter's War. I don't know if this is the very first Steelbook that had a 4K in it, but it was the first one that I noticed had the 4K in it, so I picked it up. Let me know in the comment section below if this is the first 4K Steelbook, or am I mistaken? Alien Covenant. I also own the Digibook as well. I have an unboxing of this. I know this movie gets a lot of hate too, but honestly, I enjoyed it in the theaters, guys. I liked Prometheus a lot. I like Alien a lot. I don't know. I think it's just like the Fast and the Furious franchise. It's just a soft spot for me. So I want to see a conclusion. I want to see another sequel to this. I'm not sure if we're getting it or not. I don't know if that's been announced. Jack Reacher, Never Go Back. I've only seen part of the first film. I have not seen the whole entire film. I heard it was pretty good, so the trailers look pretty promising for this film. And after seeing Rogue Nation and stuff like that, I was like, all right, I'm starting to get on the Tom Cruise bandwagon. I wanted to see more of his films. But for some reason, this was really hard to get into. Starts off pretty good, which you see that in the trailer, where they're at the diner and they want to arrest him and everything. But after that, even that scene where they're just like, someone's going to make a phone call and you're going to be the one wearing these cuffs or whatever he says, he kind of says the same thing in American Made, but American Made was a lot better. I really enjoyed American Made. I need to pick that film up and add it to my collection. But yeah, he has like the similar lines in both of those movies. This Minority Report, this was a very good film. Enjoyed it. I'm glad they got a Steelbook on it because I did not own it on Blu-ray. So yep, glad to have that in my collection. Next up is Hacksaw Ridge, probably one of the better war films in the past, 10 years or so, if not all time, because I really enjoyed this movie. Mel Gibson did a terrific job directing this film. If you haven't seen this, pick it up. It is an amazing movie. It's very inspirational, very great story. Everyone needs to see that film. Say what you want to say about the man Mel Gibson. He's still the man. He still has it, and he's a terrific director, no matter if you don't like him personally. Next is The Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 1. Bought this for my wife. I'm not sure if I watched it. I watched a few of them with her. I'm not a Hunger Games fan. Also, I picked up Allegiant for her as well. I'm not sure if I've seen this film either. This was just for her. Big Lebowski. I wanted to pick this up because I've never seen it. I heard great things, and it's a very, very good movie. It's very quotable. It's great. The Coen brothers are just amazing on anything they put their hands on. Now You See Me. I'm not sure if this is the 4K or not. It might just be the blue. Yeah, it's just the Blu-ray. of Now You See Me, and I got Now You See Me 2. So yeah, these were okay. I think that, you know, I'm not trying to go too in depth with every movie here, but I just feel like that these films, the CGI takes me out of it. If you can pull off all these stunts and stuff like that without CGI, it would be more believable to me. But when you throw in CGI, it's like, how are we supposed to believe that when we're the audience, even though you're trying to make their audience believe it as well? It just, I don't know, it takes me out of the movie, and I get to the point to where I'm like, I check out, I'll watch it, but I don't care what happens next. But yeah, that's Now You See Me and Now You See Me 2. Why am I putting that over there? This is for my wife as well. 50 Shades of Grey. Not a good movie. I have not seen the second one. I have not seen the third one. And she was so let down by this film that she didn't even care to see the second or third film. We got Hellboy. Really good movie. Can't wait to see the reboot of it. Ron Perlman's awesome. I need to get the Golden Army, I believe, the second film. Salt. I think all these came out at the same time. Pretty good movie. Fun fact, Tom Cruise was originally assigned to this film, Salt, but he dropped out, so they changed it to a female character and put Angelina Jolie in it. Boys in the Hood, classic film. I don't know, I've seen it a couple times back in the day. I just added it to the collection. Christine, really wanted to add this to my collection. I've never seen this film, and I love this artwork. I loved it. There's nothing on the back, but just this artwork on the front was just amazing. So it was enjoyable. Wasn't Stephen King's best film, but it was okay. Pineapple Express, probably one of the most quotable comedies of all time. Danny McBride, probably where he really got noticed. Amazing. If you haven't seen Vice Principals with Danny McBride and Walton Goggins, I highly suggest you check it out, because they only did 2 seasons of it on HBO. I can't say enough good things about it, but Danny McBride, Seth Rogen, James Franco, this is just a classic, and I wish they would do a sequel to this. That'd be pretty dope. Ash vs. Evil Dead, the first season. It's all embossed right here, the chainsaw. Really good series. They're on the 3rd series right now on Starz season. 3rd season on Starz. I really enjoy it. Bruce Campbell's awesome as Ash, and this is just fun. This isn't the serious Evil Dead stuff. This is the goofiness. Check it out. The show needs much love, because I think their ratings are getting lowered, and if you want this type of material, I suggest you go out and show it some love. Go watch Starz. If you don't have Starz, subscribe to it. Starship Troopers on 4K. I used to love this film back in the day. Even though it's cheesy, it fits the movie. The CGI is still good to today. It's just a fun action movie. I would have liked to see I don't know if they ever made a video game or something of this, but this would be a really cool video game, how they do the Halo Wars and stuff like that. If they did a Starship Troopers similar to that, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, I know we got StarCraft. I guess you could say that's kind of what this is, but I don't know. I just think that this is a great property, and I think they could do a lot with it. The Mummy Ultimate Collection with the what is this? The Book of the Dead or whatever on the front, and it's supposed to have the key here. Really fun films, except for the 3rd one, I believe. Next up is a metal pack. It's World War Z. I think they have a newer steelbook out for this now, but this was a really good sequel to, it's not sequel. This is a very good zombie film, even though it was PG-13. It had me very skeptical whenever I saw PG-13 on it. But actually, it impressed me. I highly enjoyed this film. I was looking forward to the second one, because they said David Fincher was assigned to it. But now they're putting it on hold, because Brad Pitt is going to be in the new Quentin Tarantino movies about Charles Manson. So we'll see if it ever gets off the ground. But I do want to see a sequel to World War Z. Baby Driver, one of my favorite films of last year. Amazing. I watched this movie 3 times when I bought it. I really enjoyed it. I can't say enough good things about this movie. It's just fun, the way it's shot. It's a really good action film. I really, really enjoyed Baby Driver. Next up is It. Stephen King's It. This is the remake. Really enjoyed this movie. I have a short film of this on my YouTube channel. It's called The Hunt for Pennywise, when I picked up the Steelbook. If you haven't seen that, check it out. I'll put a link in the description below. Yeah, me and some buddies, we did a little short film of this. I cannot wait for It Chapter 2. I think that they announced that even the kids from this movie is going to be in that as well. So I don't know if they'll have like a small segment, or there'll be flashbacks like there was in the miniseries back in the 90s, or what. But I'm glad to see that the kids will be making a return in this sequel, even though they're going to be adults. Maybe they'll do flashbacks, or maybe the beginning will just be them as kids. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I hope they do it right, because that Chapter 2 of the miniseries was garbage. So please, Andy Muschietti, do the film justice, please. Is The Dark Tower. I have yet to see this yet. I watched like the beginning like twice. I've heard nothing but horrible things about this movie. So I don't know. I started it one day and then I got interrupted and I never turned it back on. But I need to go back and watch it. I'm gonna put this to the side as well. Is It Follows. Really enjoyed this film. Even though that the premise sounds pretty silly when you explain it to somebody, it was still really well made, I thought. I highly enjoyed It Follows. If you've seen this film, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, check it out. What is this? Gods of Egypt. Gods of Egypt. This was one of my steelbooks I picked up on a blind buy, and it's so... I don't even know the word for it. It's not boring. It's just so dumb. Like, there's just... the way the movie is executed and everything, it's just like, it starts off a little promising, you know, and it's cool with Gerard Butler and the little fight at the beginning and stuff, but then it just gets very convoluted, and I haven't watched it since, and I just thought it was kind of dumb. But it's one of those movies you could just throw popcorn in your face and watch it. Sausage Party. I think this was a Target exclusive steelbook. This was a blind buy as well. It was okay. It wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be. It was more shocking humor than it was actual funny humor. There was a couple parts that made me laugh, but overall this was just more just get as disgusting as you can with food products. And I don't know. It takes a little bit more than that to make me laugh. I don't know if I ever watch it again. Maybe if it's on TV, or I don't know. It would have to be on HBO or something, because all the stuff would be cut out if it's on regular cable. 10 Cloverfield Lane. This was a very, very well filmed. I enjoyed this a lot. In fact, I kind of want to watch it again. John Goodman is one of my all-time favorite actors, and he just kills it in this movie. I wasn't the biggest fan of the original Cloverfield, but this film right here, I don't know. It caught my attention, and didn't realize how many steelbooks I had. My beer is getting hot. All right, what's next? I went ahead and picked up all these whenever they came out. I wish all steelbooks would do this with this little slip cover. This is the Universal Monsters films. Go ahead and go through them. The Wolfman. See how they have this slip? I love this slip. I wish they would do that with all steelbooks. Like, I know people, they use a lot of these plastics that they put over their steelbooks and everything. I've yet to pick any up. I need to get on Amazon and get on that, but I've never really scratched any of mine, even though I don't really move mine at all or anything. But I've never noticed any of mine scratched up. So, but I do need to get some plastic. But it would be amazing if they would just do it like this. That's the Wolfman, the Bride of Frankenstein. You can see that. I have all this unboxings on my channel. What is this? Frankenstein. The Mummy. The artwork on these are amazing. They're amazing. No complaints. And I didn't own any of these, so I'm glad I picked them up. I think they don't have the, what is it? Phantom of the Opera or something like that. I know a lot of people complained about that, but I don't know why they didn't release that one. Dracula. Creature from the Black Lagoon. The Shape of Water. I'd like to see a prequel to Shape of Water. It'd be like Creature from the Black Lagoon, I guess. The Invisible Man. I need to go through and watch all these. I guess I'm waiting for around Halloween time, and I'll actually check them out. John Carpenter's They Live. This is a Scream Factory. They're starting to come out with steelbooks of the Scream Factories, especially of John Carpenter's work. So I'm kind of picking those up. I've never seen They Live. I've heard, great lines like, I came here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum and stuff like that. So I know what I'm getting into whenever I watch this. I just haven't yet. So I'm going to put this to the side as well. The Fog. I've only seen the remake. I have not seen this original, so don't hate me for it. I own it. I've always planned on watching it, but I haven't yet, so this one go on the side as well. This is a Scream Factory. They also have the slips for these films. What are the new ones that are coming out? Prince of Darkness and another film. I can't think of it. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know. I think Prince of Darkness. I remember liking that whenever I was younger. I need to pick that film up, but that was John Carpenter as well. This is Escape from New York, Scream Factory as well. Really good film. This is probably one of the few I've seen. And Escape from LA, which not many people talk about that film. Sing. I really enjoyed this movie. I did not think I was going to like this as much as I did, but it was actually really, really fun. Family kids film. Check it out if you haven't seen Sing. Beauty and the Beast, the live action Beauty and the Beast. Really enjoyed this movie. Say what you want to say about it. My wife is a big Beauty and the Beast fan, and whenever I saw this, I really enjoyed it. I thought they did a terrific job on this. I can't wait to see. I love the Jungle Book as well, and I can't wait to see the Lion King and Aladdin that they're coming out with. What is this? The Magnificent Seven. This was okay. This was a pretty good Western. I wish it was rated R, not PG-13, and a little bit more grittier. Then it just kind of felt, I don't know, kind of goofy at moments, but overall it was a fun little movie. Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage. Good looking steelbook, but not a great movie. It was hard for me to get through this film, so I wasn't a big Triple X fan to begin with. So that's not saying much. Warcraft, it's a video game adaptation. It was okay. I had no idea what was going on when this movie started, so I've never played the World at Warcraft games. So Assassin's Creed with Michael Fassbender, not a terrific film. It bored me, actually. I didn't care for it. I wanted to. I loved the video game, especially Assassin's Creed Origins. It was amazing. But this, we got this like in between because they took a year off, because usually Assassin's Creeds come out every year. But they took a year off and they kind of filled the void with this film. And I think they're talking about making it into a TV series or maybe rebooting the film. I don't know. But I was not a fan of this. Preacher. I picked up the steelbook of this. I've been meaning to watch this as well because I think they're on season 2 or season 3. I don't know, but I've heard great things. That's why I picked it up. I picked this up at Game Exchange. I need to put this to the side as well. Watch that one day. Oh, Ash vs. Evil Dead season 2. Really enjoyed this season. Season 3 is pretty promising too. It's very enjoyable. You know what you're getting into when you watch this. If you're not a fan of the Evil Dead, franchise or anything, or even with Bruce Campbell being Ash and all that kind of stuff, this isn't going to change your mind. But it is great for horror fans like myself, because I grew up with Evil Dead, loved it. Next, John Wick Chapter 2. Really enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed the first one more. This one kind of got, I don't know, it seemed like it kind of got a little unfocused as well for me. I didn't like the whole everybody being an assassin thing. I thought it was too much. I felt like they were trying to do too much. The part where I almost checked out of the film was when the homeless guy was on the side of the street or on the sidewalk or whatever, and he says, "Hey, get down," and he like throws the tarp or the cover over John Wick, Keanu Reeves' character, and kind of hides him out for a second and then takes him to see Lawrence Fishburne. I don't know. It just seemed kind of dumb to me. But I love the first film, John Wick. John Wick 2 did have some great action scenes, though. I have to give it that. Total Recall with Colin Farrell. This is a reboot, remake, whatever. A lot of people didn't like this film. I actually enjoyed it. I'm not trying to compare it to the original because the original is a masterpiece and it's great in its own way. But for what this was, I actually enjoyed it. It kept my attention all the way through, and it was just a fun action film. Deepwater Horizon with Mark Wahlberg. Very good film. Check this out if you haven't seen it. This and Patriots Day came out like back to back, and I have to say those were probably two of my favorite films of that year. They were both just amazing. They're both true stories. But yep, Deepwater Horizon, I can't say enough good things about that. Oh, we have another Marvel here, kind of mixed up here. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It was okay. I enjoyed it for what it was. The 3D is amazing on the film. I have to give it that. I watched it in the PlayStation 4 VR, the PSVR, whatever you want to call it. Really cool, really cool. That's the only way I can watch 3D movies because I don't have a 3D TV, so I'll watch them in my PlayStation VR. My wife, she doesn't care for 3D, so it works for me. I can just kind of zone out and be in the VR. 13 Hours. Terrific film. If you have not seen this film, is edge of your seat excitement. Amazing. They have a new Steelbook out for it. I don't know if there's a 4K in that one. I think this is just the Blu-ray. But really enjoyed this movie. It's a Michael Bay film, but it's one of his better films. So check it out. Star Trek Beyond. I enjoyed this film. I thought this was I had a lot of fun with this movie. Actually, I want to watch this again. I believe it's just the Blu-ray. But yeah, it was very cool. I think there's rumors that Quentin Tarantino is going to do the next Star Trek film. So I don't know how that's going to work with his type of writing and vulgar language and all that kind of stuff in a Star Trek movie. I don't know if they're going to have different characters or they're going to continue with these characters. I don't know what they're going to do. But Star Trek Beyond was very entertaining. Martian. Really enjoyed this movie. I was going to buy it with the slipcover, but I held out because I saw this online. I said, oh, well, I'm just going to wait for the extended edition. It's in a steelbook too. So really enjoyed this movie. The Martian is amazing. Y'all are probably really it's kind of cringy that I'm stacking these steelbooks on top of each other, but it doesn't really bother me because honestly, like I said, I don't ever see them get scratched up. I mean, I look over them all the time and I'm very careful with them, just as long as I'm not just rough and I'm shoving them in the shelf or something. But if you're gentle with it, it's not gonna, I don't know. Plus, usually I use the digital code and I just stack these on my shelves, so I don't really move them a whole lot. Next up, Ghostbusters. This is the remake. A lot of people hated this movie. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that great. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. Here's the first Ghostbusters. Classic. Enjoyed this a lot. I had to get the matching steelbooks along with Ghostbusters 2. Really enjoyed this artwork. It was a reason to own that in my collection. Moana. I think this was a Best Buy exclusive steelbook. It's just Blu-ray. I don't think it's 4K. I don't know if there is a 4K version of Moana. But yeah, it was probably one of the better Disney movies in recent memory. Interstellar. Very divided film. I know Christopher Nolan. I'm not the biggest Christopher Nolan fan. I think he's a little overrated. He does do terrific work. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think I don't think it impresses me as much as it does other people. The Dark Knight was probably one of his better films, and that's because the Joker's in it. And I don't know. RoboCop, the remake, steelbook. A lot of people hated this. I was a big fan of the originals. Don't get me wrong. I loved the bloody violence. I loved it. It was amazing in every way. But for some reason, I enjoyed this movie. I don't know why. Even though it was PG-13, it was kind of dumbed down. They changed the storyline. I just didn't mind it. I thought this was really, I don't know. Give this another try. I just have to say, like, if it didn't have RoboCop on it and it was just some other kind of sci-fi movie that was similar to RoboCop, I think everybody would enjoy it. But because it has the RoboCop name on it, I think everybody is hating it with the direction that it took. Transformers, Age of Extinction. It was okay. Not a big fan of Transformers. I don't know what to say too much about them because they're just they're Transformers films. I have not been a big fan of them since the original. Megan Fox, I have to say, was probably the best thing to look at in all these movies, which she wasn't in all of them. She was only in the first two, but after that, I kind of lost interest. I was like, well, whatever. The Last Witch Hunter. This could have been better. I had higher hopes for this. It starts off pretty promising. Kind of saw the twist at the end, you know, coming from a mile away. But it was okay. It was okay. Unbroken. Found this for like $5 at Best Buy in the bin. And I've never seen it. I always wanted to see it. Angelina Jolie directed it. I don't know why I haven't seen this. I need to put this to the side as well. The Bourne Classified Collection. I believe this is just the Blu-ray. I believe they have a 4K out now, but I wanted a reason to have all of the Bourne films because I was a fan of those. Not too much of Jason Bourne, though. I expected a lot more out of Jason Bourne, but I don't know if they're going to do another one with him or what. But, hey, hopefully it's better than Jason Bourne, honestly. Passengers. This movie got a lot of hate because of Chris Pratt's character and his motivations of doing what he did and everything. I understood it. I thought, I don't know. I think it delivered everything that it wanted to deliver. I enjoyed this movie. I thought this was a fun movie. I don't know. And the 4K looks amazing in this. And I think there's a 3D as well. Yeah, this comes with a 3D as well. And I watched the 3D on the VR. It was phenomenal. I want to watch this again. Say what you want to say. I don't know. I have different tastes than most people. It takes a lot to please me, and I'm not always like a big fanboy when it comes to Star Wars and all these different franchises from being a kid. I watch a movie for what it is. Like I said, it takes a lot for me to get into like a series or cartoon or something like that. So I'm not coming from that type of background. I'm coming from just watching it from a standalone, film. Jim Henson's Labyrinth. Used to love this film whenever I was younger. I think Dark Crystal's out right now. I need to add that. I've never seen Dark Crystal, but Jennifer Connelly is amazing in this. David Bowie, there's a lot of quotable lines in this film, and it's Jim Henson. You can't go wrong with Jim Henson, especially in 4K. Next up, X-Men Apocalypse. Not the greatest movie. It was okay. Days of Future Past was awesome. Logan was awesome. This right here was just kind of like a one-time watch. I don't know what to say. That's it. King Kong, the Peter Jackson version with the limited edition extended version. This had a lot more footage than what I saw in the theater, and I really enjoyed this. Say what you want to about this. I love the Peter Jackson version of King Kong. There are a couple scenes with like the stampede of the dinosaurs I wish they would have cut out. That looks too much. It looks too goofy, very convoluted. But there are some amazing moments in this film, and the story overall is really good. I really enjoyed this movie. I believe I enjoyed it more than I did Kong Skull Island, even though I did enjoy this a lot as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing King Kong versus Godzilla and the new Godzilla film that's coming out. I enjoyed this for what it was, but it honestly, to me, it doesn't touch what Peter Jackson did. It was just great. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. This was one of the better entries of Pirates of the Caribbean. I enjoyed it. Say what you want to about the Pirates franchise. I didn't care for, what was it, At World's End, and then the other one with the Fountain of the Youth or whatever. I can't remember the name of the film. I think I have it somewhere, but honestly, this was the first one, and this one was probably the two best films out of the whole franchise. I haven't seen the second one, Dead Man's Chest, whatever it's called. I haven't seen that since it was out at the theaters. I need to add that one to my collection, but I need to rewatch it too. So, yeah, that's Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. All right, we're down here. Let me get a little sip. If you're still watching this video, thank you. Hit the subscribe button, hit that like button and everything. I have a few digital codes that I just found throughout all these cases. So I'll I'll be giving those away. Also, be looking out for the Star Wars The Last Jedi digital code. I'm going to be giving out away within a week or so. So yeah, go watch that video, hit the like button, and comment those questions, and you can be entered for that. But all right, on to this. Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. I lost interest in this movie. I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan or this type of... I was trying to get into it, picked this up. I lost interest halfway through it, and I have not turned it back on. But I owned it because I bought this because I've never seen any of the Harry Potter films. No, I saw one. A buddy of mine drugged me to it years ago. I think Prisoner of Azkaban or something. I didn't know what was going on. I don't know. I never sat down and watched any of these films, so I picked this up, and this was like, I think a little bit over $100. I'll go ahead and take out each individual disc. So I have an unboxing of this on my channel as well. But yeah, you got Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I finally watched that one. And that's the only one I watched besides Prisoner of Azkaban. I haven't watched Chamber of Secrets, but I really just like the artwork on these. This is like it's like a bookshelf, you know. It's really neat. I just really enjoy it. I think it's one of the better sets that I've seen out there. Prisoner of Azkaban, I believe that's the one I've seen. Goblet of Fire. Order of the Phoenix. Yeah, see, I need to sit down and watch it. I've always intended to, but I just never did. Half-Blood Prince. I've heard great things about this series, but I don't know why it's so hard for me to get into. And the Deathly Hallows Part 1, and this is Deathly Hallows Part 2. When I bought it, the first time I bought this set, it had Deathly Hallows Part 1 twice in it instead of having Part 1 and Part 2. So I had to exchange it at Best Buy and get another one with the Part 1 and Part 2. And so once I did that, I had this. Once I bought my house, I was moving out of my apartment, and during the move, this dropped. A family member of mine dropped it, and it was a little dented up. It's a little dented up here on the bottom. You probably can see it a little bit. And I was highly pissed. You know, us collectors, we do not like our stuff bent or scraped or anything. So I don't know. And I'm gonna put all these back in here. Get in there, bitch. There. So yeah, that is the Harry Potter complete 8-film collection. I'll show you all the way around. And I'll show you the top. Just a little dented. But yeah, that's it. I know there's another Fantastic Beasts film coming out, but it would have been cool if there was like a slot for me to put this in here with it. So, but hey, what can you do, right? But that's it, guys. That is my complete Steelbook metal pack box set Steelbooks collection in full. That's where I'm at today. I slowed down on getting so many Steelbooks because they're like re-release Steelbooks, and if I already own the film, I'm not going to just re-buy it just because it's in Steelbook. So that's how I kind of play it. But they have just been throwing out everything in Steelbook, and you know, it's becoming a cash grab. But if I don't own the movie and it comes out on Steelbook, I will pick it up. But yep, that's where I'm at so far. Now I have to put all this shit back, and I hope you like this video. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. This is Destination Station. I'm Destin, and you know, stick around. Oh, I have a podcast. It's called What's Brewing. Me and another guy, we do it every Friday. I'll leave a link in the description below as well to that. And I think we're fixing to film the 7th episode, so check that out whenever you get a chance. So yeah, hit that bell icon so you can keep up to date with all my videos. Video was long overdue, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for checking out my video. It's Destination Station, #1 station in the nation. I haven't said that in a while. As always, I'm Destin. Fantastic day. That's it. Peace.